I'm in a small village, Hortobagy. And it's maybe a very small village, but actually is the center of the biggest and the oldest national park in Hungary.
It's a World Heritage Site with massive steppes and grassy plains, but what attracted me the most is their incredible conservation projects, like bringing back completely extinct aurochs and extinct in the wild Przewalski horses.
The highlight of the park is wildlife safari, like in Africa. And because it's located in a natural reserve, it's protected area, and the only way to get there is by this bus, which goes to wildlife park, and from there you can take the safari to see Przewalski horses and also aurochs. And they've got quite unique story.
It feels a little bit like entering a Jurassic Park. Everything is properly guarded with large gates. Wildlife Park is a mix of a zoo, sanctuary and animal hospital. Some of the animals here because they've been poisoned. Many birds had collisions with the power lines, some of them been shot at. Unfortunately, not all of them can be brought back to nature, either for health issues or because they've been kept in captivity by poachers for way too long.
The changes in the environment and in the nature are so big and so imminent that I guess nobody foreseen it like 2 decades ago. The most limited nature resource now is water. There were serious droughts in the last decades, and when you don't have water in your soil, then it won't evaporate, then it won't bring up minerals and salt, and this system can collapse. For nature conservation, this is a tragedy, of course, because these are habitat types which are only present mostly in Hungary and nowhere else.
The last observation of a single wild Przewalski horse was in 1969, and after they were declared extinct in the wild. Hunting and habitat loss to agriculture and livestock, capture for zoos and private collections, military activities, resulted that only 12 horses were left in the world zoos. But since 1990s they had been reintroduced, and now out of those 12 there are around 4,000. 300 of them are kept here in Biosphere Reserve, which is the largest number in Europe. They kept in semi-wild conditions on a 3,000 hectare territory, which is completely closed for visitors or any agriculture activity. Now we're in a wildlife park, where around 25 horses are kept mainly for education and presentation to people. And I mean, education is important, right? We already destroyed them once, so it shouldn't happen again. They're the last wild horses in the world. There is no evidence of domestication, and that's why we must keep the species alive. And these two horses here are helping each other to get rid of flies and mosquitoes by fanning each other's face with the tail. Such behavior also strengthens the bonds between them.
You can spend days here wandering around the park. It's really huge, and in many places there are viewing tower like this one here. And we just arrived to the bee eaters place. It's very beautiful and exotic looking birds.
When you look around in the Hortobagy region, everything should be green. Grazing season doesn't even start yet, and already the grass is yellow, so it burned out. 2 years ago we finished the project. The aim was to reconstruct wetlands and keep these wetlands wet as long as possible during the year. These wetlands play a crucial role. The evaporation from these wetlands can form rainfall and can help to mitigate with the change of the climate in a larger scale, in a landscape scale.
That's a paradise for birders. It's amazing, the wetlands are so beautiful. We hear so many different species of birds.
But wait for the most incredible thing. The animal I'm going to see now is auroch. Never heard of him? Well, that's because it's extinct. It's quite complex for me to explain how it's possible that it's standing right in front of me, so I'll leave it to an expert.
The last auroch was shot down in 1627, so professionally speaking aurochs are extinct, but professionals are trying to reconstruct the auroch phenotype using ancient type of cattle and crossbreeding them, trying to find in the upcoming generations those phenotypic types and those looks which are favorable. We have some cave paintings, we have a lot of bones. We can say that we know 99% exactly how it looked like. In the last few years we spent a lot of energy to get the favorable type of horn, because of the grey cattle it became like a tulip. Because of the lotusy it was stronger but downwards, and we have to mix these to get auroch type of horn which we needed. Phenotypically, yeah, so it would look like just like an auroch, but it won't. Yeah.
This phenomenon is called blooming of the Tisa River, and it's Mayfly season, and these amazing creatures live only 2 hours, and during these 2 hours they have to mate. That's their only purpose in life at this stage.
Mayfly mating happened only for a few days in June, just before the sunset in Tisa River. In these 2 or 3 hours of their short life they not only have to mate, but also to lay their eggs, and after they die. That's why they're in such a rush. They don't even have any organs with which to feed themselves. It's a lucky coincidence for me to be here, because today was the day of blooming.
There are thousands and thousands of them, and all of them appeared in one time. Some people take kayaks or boats. And the thing is, it's just like very small arm of the Tisa River, and it's right next to the road. Road is right here. You see the cars passing. It's like, why here? I don't know. But it's a super special place, and people come from different places just to experience this phenomenon. And nature is weird sometimes, but it's also amazing in a way.
These mayflies are the largest in Europe, and their presence is an indicator of clean, unpolluted water. They are also important food source for birds and fish. Females typically lay between 400 and up to 3,000 eggs. Then eggs sink to the bottom and hatch after 5 days into nymph. In the nymph stage, their lifespan is up to 2 years. Then, when the temperature, water level, wind and the lighting condition are just right, they all hatch simultaneously, with one single goal: reproduction.
Basically that's it. Just after 2 hours there's almost nothing left. Of course there are some individuals still alive, but mainly it's almost back to its normal state. Yeah. Short life.
So I remember in my childhood when there were really intense snowfall, and for a month it was the Hortobagy was covered in snow and so on. And nowadays it's a different situation, and it scares me.
I think it's wise to look at one of the main reasons of climate change, nature destruction, species eradication and much more. And to me, it looks like our race for money and profit is destroying everything. In a system where you need to trade to survive, where we value the ones who earns the most, regardless of what he's doing or what are the consequences for nature and other people, we are all losers. While one become richer, the rest become poorer. We're leaving behind the world with less clean air, less clean water, less forests, animals, birds, fish and all possible diversity. The only way to completely stop it is to change our values and economical system, which we all rely to.
Guys, if you're interested, if you're hungry, I suggest you to visit it. It's have a great area, it's perfect for birders, but also safari experience is quite unique for Europe, and the horses and aurochs are amazing. But the most importantly, story behind it, why they're here and how all of us can improve biodiversity and conservation of nature. Thank you for watching, and be brave to act.